touchdown.
And here he goes. It's Hester inside the 30. Hester's going to take it all the way for a touchdown. Picked off. Look out. Pick pass Manners. And it's Tracy Porter taking it all the way. Touchdown, New Orleans.
You're listening to the Pigskin Project, the world's #1 football podcast. Now, with more insights on all things football, here are your hosts, Ben Hansen and Ryan Matthews. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 22nd episode of the Pigskin Project. Ben, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling phenomenal. I'm back, as you guys can see. Hopefully, I'm here for a little bit. I'm back in my normal, if you're live or watching on video, back in my normal recording habitat. Now, hopefully, I'm here for a little bit. I was also doing good. Found out this week too that I'm officially transferring to IU, which is just phenomenal. So we're really on a cloud nine right now. How you doing, Ryan?
Fighting a cold right now. Nothing serious, nothing crazy. But you know, so for those listening, for those watching live, what you're gonna see and notice is there might be a slight pause every once in a while. That way I could mute myself or whatever. But we should be all right today. Should be totally okay. But however, my mom got married just this previous weekend. It was a very good time. So congrats to her and my new stepdad too. He's very cool. Love Al. Outside of that though, just working, having a good time. Hitting the gym every once in a while when I can, but trying to keep up with NFL news, and we have plenty of it this week. Speaking of which, Washington is intensifying efforts to lock Terry McLaurin up long term, which is pretty expected, honestly. There was some trade news that was coming up. I mean, a lot of speculation and everything between fans and different league circles and stuff like that. But honestly, I mean, it's a clear #1 option for Washington, and I don't think anybody thought that this was out of the realm of possibility. Gonna move on really quick. Lamar Jackson has been in talks with the Ravens about an extension and fully expects to be with them for the rest of his career. This again was a pretty expected move, nothing crazy. But next talking point, which I want to be able to get your point on, is George Kittle asking for another bye week. So Ben, what's your opinion on maybe another bye week getting added in the 17-game season?
All right. Well, to your first 2 points, real quick, the Terry McLaurin thing, it just came out today, earlier before the news about the intensification of the contract talk. We were a little worried that he wasn't going to get that, and I know he was sitting out of practice, and the same thing goes for Lamar. It seems like the Lamar situation has definitely cooled down a little bit. He was skipping voluntary practices. Now he's back practicing. But as for the George Kittle stuff, I think it's a conversation. I think it's an interesting conversation to have. But I'm not too big of a fan of it because really having that bye week being the #1 or #2 seeds in the playoffs is really, I mean, that's what it's about. You work your butt off to get to the point. So hopefully your team can have that bye week. And if you add in that extra bye week, then that's not going to really, that doesn't incentivize being the best team. Because obviously the number one seed and #2 seed are still going to have that bye week as well, but it's just, it's not going to be the same. So I think it's a fun conversation and I wouldn't mind it, but I think that if we add in another bye week into the 17-week season, which would extend it to 18 weeks, which is a real long season, if we add in that extra bye week, it kind of takes away the incentive of getting to be the #1 or #2 seed. So I'm not a fan of it, but I don't lean too heavy one way or the other.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. So Julian Edelman, some breaking news from him. He says he hasn't ruled out a comeback, and he says that if he were to return, it wouldn't be with the Buccaneers, Ben. It would be with the Patriots. That I think is very interesting, and I feel like it's almost negotiable. I don't know what your point is on that, though.
It goes back to the thing. I don't think he's coming out of retirement. I mean, dude hasn't played in 2 years now. This will be going on his. I think this will be going on his third. I could be wrong. I think it's just one of those things to kind of build up the chatter a little bit, which we'll get to another point about the breaking news, but we'll get to another point about that. But I think it's just one of those pieces where somebody's just trying to, start a conversation, spark a conversation in the media. I can't really see him coming back. I think if he comes back, I think he'd be a Buck. I don't think he's. I don't think he'd be a Patriot. He has no incentive to be a Patriot. I mean, I don't want Mac Jones throwing the ball to me. Not that he's a bad quarterback, but he's not like I'm not coming out of retirement to play with Mac Jones.
Right? Yeah. No. Absolutely. Right after that, our next headline is there's a sense of urgency in Carolina to trade for Browns quarterback Baker Mayfield before training camp. They're kind of worried about whether or not he can get those reps in before training camp. Ben, your thoughts?
I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it from both sides. I hate it for the Browns' perspective just because this stuff falls through with Deshaun Watson. Then, I mean,
which league circles fully expect him to be fully suspended for the whole year this upcoming season. So
yeah,
that's to your point.
Exactly. So if stuff falls through with him, then who's your quarterback if you trade Baker? But also, is Carolina right now, like they're not a team that's a quarterback away. If I'm Carolina, I'm not worried. I'm not looking at my roster thinking to myself, if we get Baker Mayfield, we're making a push into the playoffs.
Right.
So I at this point, I really think they just need to kind of reload, step back, and let their guy who they drafted, my guy, Matt Corral, and they kind of just need to let him go through his growing pains and see if he's the guy. And then if not, and your team's trash, then you get CJ Stroud or Bryce Young next year.
That's big. So you draft a quarterback this year, Matt Corral, and you only give him 1 year, not even a full season, but one season to see if he blossoms into a franchise guy. I feel like that's a really, really quick move before you just think immediately
he was drafted at the end of the third round. I mean, still
a pretty early and valuable pick though.
Well, as an Eagles fan, we don't know if there was clamor for people saying get rid of Jalen Hurts this year, and Jalen Hurts was an early second.
Right.
And if there's clamor of getting rid of this guy who did perform, mind you, he played well this year. But if there's clamor of getting rid of a quarterback who was drafted early, mid-second, and who played well, then if Matt Corral doesn't play well and he's a late third, I could absolutely see it. And if you're picking 1, 2, or 3, you're telling me you think to yourself, I'm not going to take CJ Stroud or Bryce Young because we have Matt Corral, the dude who got us the second overall pick in the first place. No, I think if Matt Corral, I think they need to let Matt Corral kind of see how he is. And if he's not it, then you draft one of these guys. And if he is, you're set. And then if you trade for Baker, you're kind of just stuck in this middle ground. Are you going to pay Baker now with that much money? Because Deshaun Watson, with his, I think it's 5 years, 230, fully guaranteed, set a price tag for what these quarterbacks are at. Right. And you're not paying Baker anywhere near that. So I think you're just stuck in a terrible middle ground if you trade for Baker Mayfield. The only team Baker Mayfield should be playing for is the Seahawks or the Browns, and any other team, it's useless.
Gotcha. So Pizza Hut has officially been out pizzaed by Little Caesars, which is like
who we talked about on last week's episode, and not a good light.
Yeah, not at all. But Little Caesars has officially replaced Pizza Hut as the pizza sponsor of the NFL. Not a good look. I'm not a big fan of either one. I mean, Little Caesars tastes all right, I guess, but the thing is like it's so bad for your butthole. That's just, I mean, you feel it literally 30, 45 minutes after eating it. So
Mhm.
as far as Pizza Hut goes, the taste is all right, but it's not something that you could just warm up again and just eat. It's perfectly like whatever. Uh, Anyways, not a big fan of this move. I think the marketing style and everything is very weird. But it might just be because we're not really used to it. You got any
Well,
thoughts on this one?
it's obviously I think the only reason that Pizza Hut is no longer it is because Caesar or Little Caesars outbid them.
Yeah,
Little Caesars outbid them, and as much as we're like, that's weird, that's good for the NFL because most of that ad revenue goes into the salary cap.
yeah,
So, if we want these bidding wars as fans, because as these contracts go up, as we said with the new precedent Deshaun Watson set, as these contracts go up in price, we would like to see the salary cap go up in price as well. And, these bidding wars that we get for being the official pizza of the NFL
yeah.
is what's going to allow us to continue, chunking out and writing these big checks, or our teams writing these big checks. So I'm all
Right.
for it. I think Little Caesars, Pizza Hut's better than Little Caesars.
It is, but
That's
everything's
just
better
how it
than
is.
Little Caesars.
That's false, my friend. But
What's not better than Little Caesars?
this is just for the Chicago area people. If you ever
You,
had a Lumel Notties, do you know what that is?
Dude, they follow me on Twitter. Yeah, of course I do.
They're trash.
All right, next
Do you know what?
topic. I'm not
Whoa,
even
whoa,
gonna.
whoa! Wait, real quick. Do you know what Giordano's is?
Yeah.
10 times better than Lou Malnati's. Like, not even close.
Okay, but I would rather have
No,
either one over Little Caesars. Are you
no,
serious?
no.
You're
I'd much
nuts.
rather pay.
Stick to
I'd
your
much
Philly
rather pay
cheesesteak,
five.
bud.
I'd much rather pay $5 for my Little Caesars than $20 for freaking dang near tomato sauce is what that is. But anyways, let's move on.
You're ridiculous. Anyways, so Deshaun Watson is up to 26 allegations now. Very stupid, very idiotic, but not as stupid as your pizza take. Anyways, I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
Yep.
This is bad. This is a very bad situation.
Yeah.
We already talked about it last episode. So I don't want to give it too much light, but I do want to shed some light on it just to kind of
Yeah.
in case anybody's living under a rock and hasn't heard about the story yet. It could go up 40 more cases to 66, but who knows? Anyways, so let's just move on because I don't want to focus on
Yeah.
it too much.
Well, real quick. I'm one thing I'm glad he said was once I think it was when the 24th allegation came out, they asked his team, not the Browns, but Deshaun Watson's team, like what their thoughts are, and they just said they just had to look into the situation, which really bugged me because obviously if you didn't do it, then you should have just said I didn't do it.
Yeah.
But then he came out making a statement, I think it was yesterday, where he doubled down on the fact that he never did any of this. So, like I said, not you don't want to spend too much time on it, but we'll see where this goes. But it doesn't look too well for him. So
Yeah. The Giants want to use Saquon all around the field. That's good if he can stay healthy, but I would call this the Deebo Samuel effect.
yeah, I mean, I would call it I don't think it'll be as much because obviously he's a running back who will
Yeah.
be catching versus the vice versa of Debo, who was a wide receiver getting the ball. And yeah, I think he's a playmaker, and when you don't have a lot of playmakers on your team, you try to get your best playmaker the ball. And like you said, as long as he can stay healthy with an increased amount of touches, I don't see why not.
Never a
It's just
first round pick ever again, though. Never in fantasy.
Well, oh God, no.
No.
Well,
Which, by the way, keep an eye out for future Pigskin Project episodes because I will promise you we will be covering fantasy football and stuff as we kind of shift into that. I would say after July, I would definitely say at the beginning of August is when we're planning on doing that. Just to give our little loyal listeners a big heads up. Thank you guys for sticking with us through the dead period of the season. But Ben, continue.
Yes. But yeah, like it just get your best players the ball. I mean, it's a very simple, very simple. I mean, that's how it should be. Yeah, you just get your best player the ball. But we'll see if he stays healthy. But they dished out a big contract to him, so he better be able to catch the football.
Yeah. Your boy AJ Brown says that he was the best wide receiver to ever play for the Titans. Ben?
I really, really think you can make an argument for it. He was phenomenal. I think really the only one that you could say is better than him would be I don't even know if you know who he is. His name is Derek Mason. He played like 100 right here. All right. He played 122 games for the Titans. He caught 453 passes, ending with 37 touchdowns and 6,000 yards for them.
Okay.
So he was just there for like
7 years.
That have been. Yeah. So he didn't even average 1,000 yards per season there. But I mean, neither has AJ Brown. But
well, I mean, he finished his last 5 seasons there with or 4 seasons there with over 1,000 yards.
With over 1,000 yards.
Yeah. Solid.
He has 2 Pro Bowls. So I think, he has one All-Pro. So he was good. I think you can make the argument for him being better than AJ Brown, but being the biased fan that I am, AJ Brown is significantly younger. I think AJ Brown is more talented. I think if we look back on it, Derek Mason, I think we'll say had the better career as a Titan just because he was there for longer. Yeah. When it comes to just players, I think AJ Brown was better.
Yeah, I would definitely say he has a case. And that alone should give him some kind of credit. But yeah, I mean, you have to at least acknowledge him for that. Tyreek Hill has stated that Tua is a more accurate passer than Patrick Mahomes. I don't know if this is legitimate or not, but I did see, I think it might have been a meme or not, or something, but it was just like, oh yeah, following that statement, Tyreek Hill has gotten a random drug test. Like,
yeah,
I'm pretty positive it was a meme, but like if it's legit, that's like a pretty good reason to go and test it too. But
no, it was a joke.
Yeah.
And, when I said the Julian Edelman thing, how he kind of just wanted to get his name out there, and kind of get some, spark in the media. Yeah. I think that's just what it is. It's he's just trying to get the media to talk. But honestly, I applaud him for saying that, because what he's trying to do there, for those who don't really know, is he's trying to get the confidence of his quarterback up. And I mean, that's what it is. And even though it might not be, true, obviously it's not. But for him to come out and kind of stick his name to that, I mean, that had to be a good feeling for Tua, even though Tua probably even knows himself that that's not true, but it had to have been a good feeling for Tua to hear that his number 1 wide receiver said he was more accurate than the best quarterback in football. So
yeah. All right, just a second. Yeah, no, I definitely can see it as more of like a confidence booster thing, like you said.
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as how legit that case is, I definitely think Tyreek Hill has been he needs that drug test. I mean, there's no way that
no.
I mean,
yeah, I don't think he said it with a straight face.
Even if you are Tua, I would even look at him like, all right, bro, like I appreciate it, but come on. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. It was a confidence thing. Obviously, I don't think he fully believes that's a true thing either, but
yeah. All right. So next up, the Eagles have changed their logo just a little bit.
It's not even their logo; it's their word mark. So there's a trademark, which is a logo, and then there's a word mark. But you can.
I'll go ahead
flash
and
it too.
share it on the
Mhm.
screen as well. I was really curious to know like what your what your point of view on it was. I mean, when you saw it, did it make you excited? Did it, bring anything? I've got probably a different view than you do, but
It
anyways,
doesn't bother me at all. A lot of Eagles fans too were
phased.
not the happiest about that. But it really doesn't bother me at all. I don't think it's really that big of a deal. We kept our same logo. We're just trying to modernize it, and I think that the reason they changed it is because when we bring back our Kelly green uniforms next year, um, it's gonna look phenomenal with the Kelly green. Our old logo or our old word mark on the logo wouldn't have looked so hot in the Kelly green. And I think this is going to look so good on the Kelly green. I think that's the reason they did it.
Could we see a more modernized version of the actual Eagles logo then? Like the actual eagle?
No, I don't think so.
No?
If there's here, this is what I'll say. This I wish I could share. How do I share my screen?
All right, yeah. Go ahead and click share and then
Oh, gotcha.
yeah, you should be good.
Is it extra camera or slides?
What do you mean? Oh, click
Right
share.
here. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Can you see that?
Still learning, guys. Still learning. No, we cannot.
Oh, that's phenomenal. All right. Sorry, Ryan. Do you want to continue to
just share the link or whatever. Anyways, I was gonna touch on the Saints and how they revealed a new alternate helmet while we're at it.
Here it is.
Yeah,
All right.
there it is.
This is what it reminds me of. This right
Okay.
here. So this is why. Oh, that's phenomenal.
That's weird. Nice.
I think this is why they did it. I think this is what the Eagles looked like when they did the Kelly green. So this is why I think that they picked this as their logo this is why I think they changed the word mark for it, because this is what it looked like with the Kelly green, and this is what the new one looks like.
Gotcha.
So I think that's the reason they did it. I think they're kind of shifting it back to a little bit of what the old Eagles looked like, because it's going to look real good on the Kelly green.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense. But yeah, moving on. The Saints revealing the alternate helmet, which, by the way, I do want to comment. If you guys are listening on Spotify, you guys should have the video stream feature available on your phone. So if you'd like to watch on there as well, go ahead and give us a look. But we're going to go ahead and share what the Saints new helmet looks like. And Ben, I want your thoughts on this too before. Oh, wait. I just wanted to say, as far as the Eagles new stuff goes, I'm not a fan of that, but I get your reasoning behind it. So anyways, here's the new Saints helmet. They're ditching the gold and bringing in the black. This is the alternate helmet as well. So they're still going to keep the gold, but this is going to be used for some uniforms and stuff. Ben, your thoughts?
Yeah, it's a fine alternate helmet. I mean, I don't have a problem with it. I think it looks fine. I don't think it's like crazy good or crazy bad. It's a fine alternate. Not as clean as what the Kelly green helmets are going to look like. I'll say that.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and stop that one. What I do want to say is what would I guess, because this wasn't talked about before, what would your opinion be on like maybe some city uniforms like the MLB and the NBA have been doing? Would you like to see that in the NFL, or would you just say, let's just ditch that idea and keep it to basketball and baseball?
Well, realistically, what's the difference between our alternate uniforms and our city uniforms?
Well, I'm talking like a legitimate, like a tribute to the city. So like, for example, the Chicago one, it would have Chicago flag colors on it. You know what I mean? Or shut up, man. I love my Chicago flag. Anyways.
Ew. No, I love it, but come on, not on a uniform.
Oh, dude, trust me. Oh my gosh, come on.
I don't know. I think that stuff will look really good on on the baseball and the basketball, just because of the helmets, you don't really got to worry about the helmets too much. But in the
Tell
NFL, you got to
me.
worry about what the helmets design look like, and it's going to be real tough. And I don't think it would look good. So no, I think they should just stick with the alternate and call it no.
No? Are you serious?
I don't like
This
that.
looks so smooth.
No, I don't like that. I don't like the way that looks at all. Actually,
Dude,
I
I'm a
told you
huge
this when you
fan.
first showed it to me. I'm not a fan of it.
Oh, I would buy the crap out of that, dude. Look at how smooth the pants would look too. It's a shame that they had to use Khalil Mack, but like
I was
that
gonna
is
say.
that is a clean jersey, man. I'm just saying. But anyway, let's see. Let's move on to our next segment. Ben, do you want to clear up what happened with the Madden 23 ratings?
Oh, all right. So for those who the last 2 episodes we did, what was it? Wide receivers and quarterbacks.
Yes, yeah, wide
Yeah.
receivers and quarterbacks.
So we did wide receivers and quarterbacks. Obviously Madden 23 hasn't came out yet, so all the stuff that we did was all stuff that we assumed were leaks, and we assumed that the leaks were true. And it came out and has been just completely destroyed. Like that's not true at all. So all the lists and everything that we talked about on our past 2 episodes were just not correct.
To be fair though, the Darnell Mooney rating that we had, the fact that he should be,
83.
what is it, an 83? Yeah.
Yes.
The fact that we said that he should be an 83, that has officially been verified
Yes.
by a real Madden ratings adjuster guy that does the real ratings. So I just want to say you heard it here first, folks, on the Pigskin Project, that he was going to be an 83, and that was a fair rating.
We were,
Props to
we
that
thought
guy.
it was fair. But
Anyways.
anyways, so the last 2 episodes we went over Madden ratings. Those are incorrect. So don't listen to what our thoughts on that were. I mean, you can go back and listen to the episode, but that Madden ratings parts are just not going to be correct. So we're gonna stop covering that stuff until the official ratings and everything comes out. Just because we don't want to put out misleading or wrong information. So
All right.
it's a shame.
So what we're gonna do, okay, next up, we're gonna rank some wide receivers. I saw a post on Instagram that I think that this is actually gonna be pretty hard.
And I have a stipulation once you explain or I have a question once you explain the rules.
And I've changed my stance since we've talked last, I will say.
Good.
To a certain extent.
Yeah.
But oh man, people are really gonna hate me for this, and I love it. I love it so much. I changed my stance because we added a new wide receiver, and I think I have a new best wide receiver in the whole league. But
stop it. If it's who I think it is, I'm gonna.
Anyways, Ben, you were gonna say something before I get to my rankings.
Yeah. Well, do you want to say what the 4 people you're ranking are?
Yeah. So I wanted to say, so as far as this, I saw a post on Instagram, and it was one of those where it was like eliminate the worst wide receiver out of the group, blah blah. And so there were like 3 wide receivers remaining, and it was Davante Adams, Justin Jefferson, and Cooper Kupp. I had a stance on it that clearly was not among the favorites of majority people, but I do want to say recency bias is a thing, guys. I get it, but we'll get into it. So we added a 4th wide receiver, and that's Stephon Diggs, because he needs to be noted as well. He was the receiver that was eliminated before Davante Adams, Justin Jefferson, and Cooper Kupp. But with that being said, do you want me to go first, or you want to go first?
All right. So I have 2 points. So the argument we had before, I want to clarify. Again, mine had nothing to do with your stance. I think we'll get there. So when we're ranking these guys, and we're ranking them just based off of talent and how we think they're going to do next year, because they're 2 different things.
I would say overall career right now where they stand, not what they're going to do next year. Just so
where they,
you know what I mean.
Okay. Just rankings in general, taking in mind what their past accolades were and what it is now. Yeah. Do you want me to go first? Do you want to go first?
I'll go first. We
All
can.
right.
Oh no, you can go first because mine's probably going to be more controversial. So
All right. Well, mine's so I'm gonna give two lists here before you say yours. But just as a whole, I think it's Tyreek, JJ, Justin Jefferson.
Tyreek Hill's
Um,
not on the list, bro.
wait,
We're
what was it?
talking. It was Stephon Diggs, Cooper Kupp,
Oh,
Devontae Adams, and Justin Jefferson.
all right. Well, I think Tyreek Hill should be on this list over. Uh,
It's not. It's
yeah,
not top
I,
4 or whatever. It's just like we're not
all right.
saying these guys are the top 4 in the league. I'm saying
Yeah.
if we were to rank these guys, what order would they be in?
Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson, Cooper Kupp, Stephon Diggs.
That's fair.
As far as what I think they're going to produce next year, I think it's going to go.
Did you say Justin Jefferson at 2?
Yes.
I love you. Anyway, continue.
As far as how I think they're going to produce next year, I think it's going to be Justin Jefferson, Cooper Kupp, Stephon Diggs, Devontae Adams.
That's
I
fair
love
too.
Devontae
Yeah.
Adams, but just because Devontae Adams is
It's a
the
new
only reason
team.
I'm saying
We don't
that
know.
is it's he obviously he has a connection with Derek Carr from college, but I mean, Lord knows that was like years ago.
Yeah.
So he still has to build that connection up. So I think he's going to struggle a little bit, and obviously Derek Carr is no Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
But yeah, so just real quick again: Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson, Cooper Kupp, Stephon Diggs.
Yeah. So for mine, I have Stephon Diggs, Devontae Adams,
God.
Justin Jefferson, and then Cooper Kupp.
Okay.
Just because of what they've done in the past, what they're, what. Okay, as far as how I think they'll do in the future as well, I can re-rank them as well.
Well,
I'll
if we're
have them.
basing off what they did in the past, then Cooper Kupp should be number one because Cooper Kupp has had the best receiving yard or the best receiving year
In 1 year.
literally the history of the NFL.
Yeah,
So-
absolutely. But that's 1 year.
I don't care. It's the best receiving year in the history of the NFL. I don't think you like I don't. And this is a conversation we had off air. I don't think you're valuing. Like, I mean, again, literally ever since in the 50 odd number years in the history of the NFL, Cooper Kupp just put up the best, maybe second best behind Calvin Johnson's year, but the best or the second best receiving literally ever. And I don't think you like I don't think you're valuing that enough. I think that's absurd.
I absolutely think that was this is right. I think Stephon Diggs is severely underrated. I'll back him up to the moon. I think that he's one of those guys that flies under the radar as far as, when you think of these guys, you don't think of Stephon Diggs, and that's why he got eliminated before Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson, and Cooper Kupp. He deserves to be in the top 3. Devontae Adams, yeah, he's good. He can create separation when needed. But at the end of it, I think it's really going to come down to how much was Aaron Rodgers a factor into that. So as of right now, I guess that's a little up in the air. So that's why I'm ranking him off of what he's done in Green Bay. Justin Jefferson, I mean, 2 years in the league and he's had over 2,000 yards. This guy is a stud. I think he's almost got 3,000 yards already too. Maybe halfway through 2,000 to 3,000. But this guy's a stud. He's a certified stud. And then Cooper Kupp, he's had 2 1,000+ yard seasons in his whole career. I think that's lasted.
He's only played 5 years, dude.
5 years, yes, that's good. But the thing is,
he said 3, and he said 3.
3 of them. Okay, well, when you have Justin Jefferson, that's played less than half of that. That's already amounted up to more than half of what he's done. It's like, cool, yeah, I'll rank him over it. I like it. Devontae Adams, I feel like could be interchangeable. I think Justin Jefferson could actually be over Devontae Adams right now if you're looking at purely stats.
No, you're
but if you want to look at what was that?
You're right when you said 2.
What do you mean?
For Cooper Kupp, 2 years. Over
Yeah,
1,000?
two. Okay. So he's had two 1,000 plus yard seasons, and I'm not putting to shame what he did last year. I think that's awesome. Do I think he'll be able to do that again? No. It's a
No, well, of
historic
course not.
season. It's there's no way any receiver in the history in the NFL is going to be consistent with that. Why? Because teams are going to game plan against him. And not only that, but he's fighting for more catches. And you got to also think Robert Woods went down with an injury at the end of last season, too. So, of course, that kind of raised Cooper Kupp's usage. They had OBJ that was just working himself into the system and everything like that. After Robert Woods went down, Cooper Kupp was certified to be that number one guy that you would look at. The
He's
first
always the
target that
number
Matthew
one guy.
Stafford. I'm just saying, he's going to be the guy that you look to. There's no safety valve or anything like that. This is the one guy that's going to get you the job done. But Justin Jefferson, I mean, he's put Adam Thielen to shame. He's putting other people to shame as well in Minnesota. This guy's doing awesome. Devontae Adams, he was a surefire number one guy in Green Bay for years. And then you have Stephon Diggs, that's always been a surefire number one guy ever since he was in Minnesota. I think my list is correct.
Dog,
Call
he
me
had
crazy.
a 700-yard year. He had a 900-yard year. He's had an
Devontae
800-yard year. No,
Cooper
the
Kupp.
first 3 years of Stephon Diggs, like how are you gonna if you compare the first 3 years of Stephon Diggs' Stephon Diggs' career and the first 3 years of Cooper Kupp's year, which is the only fair way to do it, by the way. The first 5 Cooper Kupp has been significantly better than what Stephon Diggs has been.
All right. Well, then here, let me adjust my rankings just slightly. I'm going to move Stephon Diggs to 3 because I think that's right. Cooper Kupp staying in last.
That's
Justin Jefferson's going to be moved up to 1. So it's going to go Justin Jefferson, Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs, Cooper Kupp. People can come at me however they want to. That's totally okay. But when it's all said and done, I guarantee you Justin Jefferson's going to be a better wide receiver than any of these guys.
Well, okay.
And especially what he's done right now, too. What he's done right now, too, is historic for a rookie. And then a sophomore year, especially. What he's done with Kirk freaking Cousins. I mean, I understand, he had a good year this past year as well. But the thing is it's Devontae Adams that's had Aaron Rodgers. It's Stephon Diggs that's had, he did have Kirk Cousins at one point, but he also has Josh Allen that's a certified top 5 guy. And then you have Cooper Kupp that, yes, he's had Jared Goff. Yes, he's had Matthew Stafford, but Matthew Stafford is a certified Hall of Famer in my book.
1 year, dude. 1 single year.
I understand. I completely understand. I think it's definitely it's reasonable right now. Whether you disagree with it right now or not, you can bookmark this for all I care.
No, I agree. Justin Jefferson is definitely better. My argument, the problem I had with you last when we were arguing off air was you were saying Cooper Kupp didn't deserve to be top 5. And that's my problem. I think Justin Jefferson's better. Absolutely, Justin Jefferson's better. I'm not going to argue. Do I think Cooper Kupp just had an historic year? Absolutely, but so did Justin Jefferson. I think Justin Jefferson, when it's all said and done, is absolutely going to have the better career and is going to be viewed as a better player. But just because Justin Jefferson is better does not that doesn't diminish anything Cooper Kupp has done. Cooper Kupp is a dog.
Yeah. No, I do. I will say off air, I did say that there's no reason to put him top 5. I would say that's unreasonable for me to say. That's just pure out of spite for people that want to put him up there so quick after just one solid year. But it was a historical year. I'll give him credit for that. But at the same time, it's just dude, there are other receivers in the book right now that people just don't for me to get in a comment war with complete strangers about how Justin Jefferson in my book is better than Cooper Kupp right now. People are like, how could you say that? Blah, blah, blah. It's dude, what Justin Jefferson was able to do in just 2 years, Cooper Kupp has not been able to do that until 5 years. And he just surpassed that this past season. The amount of yardage that Justin Jefferson has right now, Cooper Kupp barely surpassed that, or not barely, but he passed that by just a couple hundred yards just this past season. It took him 5 years to get to that point. My point being, somebody needs to give him credit. Devontae Adams, he's always been a top 2 guy, top 3 guy.
Yeah.
But anyways, we should move on due to time. Ben, do you have any further comments on that one?
No. Again, I think when it's all said and done, Justin Jefferson obviously is gonna. I think Justin Jefferson is gonna go down as one of the best to ever do it. But again, I don't think that diminishes anything on how good Cooper Kupp is. I mean, literally any team in the entire league would love to have Cooper Kupp on their roster, and besides like 4 other teams, Cooper Kupp would come in and automatically be the best guy. I love Cooper Kupp. I'm glad that you retracted your top 5 statement, but yes, I think Justin Jefferson absolutely forever. Who Cooper Kupp had the better year, but I think Justin Jefferson's a better player.
Right.
We'll leave it at that.
So last week we finished the Eastern divisions in the NFL. This was just purely random. I mean, I didn't know what division to start with. To be honest with you, I kind of wanted to start with the North or end with the Northern divisions, but because I asked my coworker what I should do today, we are starting with the Northern divisions right now, starting with the NFC North. And I think the Lions are an extreme talking point this season. They've gotten significantly better in my book, and they kept it close with a lot of good teams last season too. I'm excited. Ben, I want to start with you though.
Okay, well, I will say first of all, I wouldn't say they got significantly better. I definitely think they got better. I think they're, I think they got better. I think they got better through the draft. I think their free agency was okay. I think they overspent probably on DJ Chark. I think they got better though, and if we look at their schedule last year, a lot of the games were decided. A lot of their games were very, very close. So I think they'll definitely be better this year, but I don't think they're going to be. I think our lists are going to be different than each other's. So,
Okay.
all right. Week 1, we started off with the Eagles versus Lions. You can call me a homer. I don't really care. I think the Eagles are going to win this. Eagles smeared them last year. The Eagles got significantly better. I mean, the Eagles are winning that. So I think the Eagles are winning. I think they're going to beat the Commanders. So they're starting off 1-1, and then they go into the Vikings. I think they lose against the Vikings, and I think they win against the Seahawks. So they're starting off 2-2. That's more wins than what they had all of last season. Good job, Lions. I think they beat the Patriots, lose the Cowboys, lose the Dolphins. So now they are 3-4. I think they lose the Packers, and I think
they'll split with the Bears. In all honesty, I think.
Yeah, since that's at home, I think they'll lose to the Bears. So they're what 3-7 now. I have them. Is that it?
Yeah.
They beat the Giants, so that's 4-7. They lose to the Bills, which is 4-8. Beat the Jags, 5-8. Lose to the Vikings, so 5-9. Beat the Jets, beat the Panthers, and then lose to the
Packers.
Lose to the Packers and Bears.
So the Bears are sweeping them this year.
You know what? They'll win against the Lions. Or they'll win against the Bears. So that's 1, 2.
That's 8 wins. Yeah, so there's 8 and 9 for Ben.
That's 8 and 9s. That's a good season.
All right. So for me, I'm gonna have them losing to the Eagles, beating the Commanders, losing to the Vikings, beating the Seahawks, beating the Patriots, losing to the Cowboys, losing to the Dolphins, losing to the Packers, losing to the Bears, winning against the Giants, losing to the Bills, winning against the Jaguars, winning against the Vikings, Jets, Panthers, Bears, and I'm going to say they split against the Packers. I'm going to say they're going to either win at home or win in Lambeau, all depending on the Packers situation. But I'm expecting another down year from, Green Bay, just like they did in 2018. But they'll bounce right back. They're the Packers. That's what they do. But I'm going to go ahead and give the Lions 10-7 on a good year. It's going to be one of those, sleeper teams. I've said it all year, and I think that they're a playoff team. I think that they could very well make the wild card. And Ben, we talked about it off air. I think that they could potentially fight for the NFC North as well.
No,
but
I
let's
agree.
go ahead and move on to them Vikings.
Go Vikings. All right.
Dude, I will say it one more time. I wish I could root for this team. Their team is so cool. This is probably my number one vote for coolest NFL team that isn't the Bears. They got the skull chant, right? They have the giant horn in their stadium. They got one of the coolest stadiums in the whole league. They got one of the coolest color patterns, colorways in the whole league. The coolest logo I've seen. It's just out of the ordinary. It's such a cool mascot and everything. I love the Vikings. It just sucks that I just can't root for them because they're a division rival. Can't do that. Anyways, Ben, you can go ahead and go.
I have the Vikings probably winning this division.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I think they beat the Packers week 1, lose to the Eagles, win to the Lions, win against the Saints, win against the Bears, lose against the Dolphins, win against the Cardinals, win against the Commanders, lose against the Bills, win against the Cowboys, win against the Patriots, win against the Jets, win against the Lions, win against the Colts, win against the Giants, lose against the Packers, and win against the Bears. So I'm having a 12-win season for them. So
that's solid.
Yeah. I don't know why I repeated the Giants. I said the Giants twice in there.
That's okay.
Yeah. 12 wins though. I have them winning 12 wins. That's I think it's really good. Hopefully Dalvin Cook stays healthy. I think they got better this offseason. And I think they have a pretty easy schedule outside of a few tough games. I have them winning 12.
So for my predictions, I have them beating the Packers, losing against the Eagles, beating the Lions, winning against the Saints, beating the Bears. Let's see. I'm going to have them beat the Dolphins, lose against the Cardinals, beat the Commanders, lose against the Bills, lose against the Cowboys, beat the Patriots, beat the Jets. I think I had them sweeping the Lions this year. So win against the Lions, win against the Colts, win against the Giants, lose against the Packers, and lose against the Bears for a 12-6 season or 11-6 season. Pretty similar. The way that I have it, though, I mean, they would have clinched the division by then, by the last 2 weeks. So as far as the Packers game goes, that one's just going to be a loss just because it's like they're not fighting for – well, no, that one will knock them out of contention for the number 1 seed in the NFC. But at that point, they're not trying to lose anybody due to injury. So they're going to sit them in Soldier Field against the Bears, and that's why the Bears win that last matchup. But yeah, 11-6 I think is reasonable. I think this team could win the NFC North as well, for my unbiased opinion as well.
Yes.
Let's see. All right, so our next rankings, because we like to rank teams, we have the Bengals, Bills, Bucks, and Packers.
Boom. This is sorry about that.
I find this pretty easy, in all honesty.
Yeah, in all honesty, yeah. Do you want to go first or want me to go first?
You can go first.
All right. Bills, Bucks, Bengals, Packers.
Yep, that's exactly how I had it. Wow. Yeah, the Bills, I will say, we'll stay on this for just a little bit, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be on the same page as you. The Bills are the most complete team in the NFL. They are surefire Super Bowl contenders in my eyes. I think they could do it this year. There's not a single thought in my mind that's just like this team isn't going to win. They're going to win a lot of games this year. The Bucs, you can never count out Tom Brady. They didn't necessarily get worse this offseason, but they didn't necessarily get better to a certain extent. But they're still the Buccaneers. As far as the Bengals go, the Bengals are good, but they're not astronomically great. They're not this team that's for sure going to win their division. You look at Cleveland right now. I say that if Deshaun Watson doesn't get suspended and he plays, Cleveland is a surefire contender for that division. You also look at, Pittsburgh they're still a pretty decent team, depending on whether or not their quarterback plays decent enough. But the Ravens are a pretty complete team as well. We talked about that last episode too, and we were doing a ranking. The Ravens can go on and win a Super Bowl as well, but all just depends on injury, or how healthy this team can stay. So, as far as the Bengals goes, in all honesty, I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs. And then the Packers as well. They're another team that they improved in some areas, but downgraded significantly in other ones. And because of that, they are not among the best in this group. Yeah. But I would most definitely say that, these three teams that are above the Packers are up there for a reason because they could contend. Ben, am I on the same page as you?
Yeah, you said it. Perfectly.
Because without further ado, what we can do.
Yeah, real quick. Bold takes before or after this?
After this.
All right.
I want my Weddle right now.
Hey,
right now.
we're tied 2-2 now. We're tied 2-2 now. Okay, so we're 2-2, just 2 straight right now.
You won last time, so let's go. You're picking second again.
Okay. I only pick second. If it's me winning, I'm always going to pick second.
All right, we're going Justin Fields first.
For refreshers, for those who don't know how Weddle works, it's the same thing as Wordle, but with NFL players. We start an easy round together. Me and Ryan go back and forth. We help each other out. And then there's a hard round. The hard round is for all the marbles. The first few rounds we kind of guess, but then the last few rounds we kind of just blend together and help each other out. But yeah, this is for bragging rights right now. We're 2-2, so it's fair split. This is
there's a Google attempt on the last guess.
Yes,
just
or unless we're stuck
But there's only one Google search and one link that we're allowed to click on. Other than that, no go. Anyways,
completely agree. All right.
I guess Justin Fields right off the bat, as I always do. It's a quarterback that's not in the NFC. That's taller than 6'3". He's older than 23, just slightly, and his number is higher than 1. So,
so helpful.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson.
I meant to mute myself, so my bad.
Anyway, okay.
Lamar. All right. He's not in the AFC North.
24.
But yeah, let's see.
I know who it is.
It's higher than 8. He's 24.
I'm pretty sure. No, the guy I'm thinking of might be too old for that. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
There we go.
There you go.
All right, cool.
There you go. All right,
Ben. Hey. I got to start us off again?
Yeah, buddy.
All right.
You do.
Cam Robinson.
What a
random pick. That was literally the first name that came to mind too. I was just like, Cam Robinson. I don't know. Right. He's not in the AFC. He's on offense, but he's shorter than 6'6", older than 26, just slightly, and he's got a number that's way smaller than 74. So,
yeah,
I like it.
right. Well, we're just gonna go with an offensive player. Let's just go with Jared Goff.
All right. So, he's an NFC player, not a quarterback, but he's still on offense. Shorter than 6'4",
28.
older than 20. Yeah, so probably 28 years old. Yeah, and way higher than 16. It's not.
He's shorter than 24, so 16. He has to be a skill. I'm thinking out loud. I'm helping us here. He has to be a skill position player because he's shorter.
I'm thinking a tight end here.
Well, if he's 6'4",
Zach Ertz, maybe? No.
no, he has to
Jeez.
be a wide receiver. He has to be a wide receiver or running back.
All right. Well, I was way off. So,
yes, he has to be a wide receiver or running back. We know
but it has to be in
not-
the NFC. Oh wait, never mind. Sorry.
It has to
be in the
be
NFC South or East.
yeah, South or East. Watch it be in the East. Age. Let's try Leonard Fournette. I think he's too young for that though. Tampa Bay.
Ooh.
So he has to be a wide receiver.
Oh, what's
Tampa
his
Bay.
name?
Oh my gosh.
What's his name?
Ryan.
What's his name? Hold
Ryan.
on. Just shut up. Shut up.
No, you got this. Oh my God, Ryan. If you don't get this, I'm going to make fun of you forever. Oh. Oh. I don't even think it's the one who we think it is. Maybe it is, but.
No way.
Oh.
What? Oh, I know who it is then.
It's not a running back. It's not a wide receiver.
All right. So what we found out, he's Tampa Bay. He's, obviously NFC South. He's not a quarterback, tight end, running back, wide receiver. He is 6'1". He's 28, I believe, and his jersey number is higher than 14.
Has been offensive guard or center. I want to.
Better not be Googling stuff over there. Yeah.
Ryan Jensen. I think he's too tall for that, though. Dude.
Jeez. Oh my God. That was my next guess.
He has to be a guard. But that's what I'm saying. Ryan Jensen was too tall to be 6'1".
Dude, why don't I know the guards, bro?
See, and this is where it starts blending together. Where we try to help each other. So we know he's a Tampa Bay Buccaneer, and we know he's a guard. So we know he's a Tampa Bay Buccaneer guard. This is where it starts blending together. We kind of help each other.
A guard that's 6'1" though.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, but it has to be, right?
Yeah, it's just that's a shorter guard though.
Oh, just for those who are basketball fans, the Warriors won the finals.
That means I won $40, baby. Let's go. Anyways.
And just by the way, I definitely told you this. I don't know if you paid attention. Our friend Jonathan can vouch for me, and my stepdad can vouch for me. I picked every single game correctly before the series started.
Props to you, man.
I should just start a basketball podcast. I should start.
It's almost like you had one already, bro. It's crazy. Yeah, right. Dude. Anyway, all right. So we gotta finish this, man.
You can go ahead and do your Google search if you want. It's at the point where we're just like, what do we do now?
Do you even know any guards? Do you want to just agree to keep this 2-2 this week?
I'm letting you. Oh, now you know how I felt with the Alex Highsmith thing. Do you want to keep it at 2-2?
I'm fine with that.
All right.
Offensive line, Ali Marpet, Alex Kappa.
I think didn't Ali Marpet retire this year?
Yeah. It's not Kappa, but it's a guard. Kappa plays for Cincinnati.
And Ali Marpet retired.
Yeah.
Well, you want to go ahead and click on that, or is it the Nick Levert guy? Yeah, I guess throw in, scroll up. Oh, works too.
Aaron Stinney, Shaq Mason.
Oh, yeah, go ahead and throw in Shaq Mason.
All right.
Forgot about him. I forgot that he got traded there.
Shaq Mason.
Yeah. He got traded there.
Yeah.
For those who don't remember, Shaq Mason got traded from the Patriots there for I think it was like a 6th-round pick or something. I think it was like a 6th-round pick for Shaq Mason. I forgot he got traded there. Look at us 2-2. I should have just told you no. I get my bragging rights, but it's okay. It's okay.
All right, so
we haven't done this segment in a second. It's been
bringing it back, baby.
Bringing it back.
Bold takes.
It's been pretty dead, so it's been kind of hard to make bold takes. But why not? Why not?
Mine are super fun. But how many do you have this week?
I have 3.
All right, Ben, I want you to go first.
All right. All right. So my second take is it's like 2 takes kind of combined into one. My first one is Desmond Ridder is going to be the best rookie quarterback out of this draft class. This year, he's going to put up. Desmond Ridder is going to put up the best numbers out of any rookie this year. Justin Herbert is going to finish the year as the 2nd best quarterback in the NFL, and him and Patrick Mahomes are going to be the next Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. So that's like 1 take combined. And then Rashid White. For those who don't know, I've been high on this guy forever. Me and Matt both have, so I had to throw him in here. Rashid White is going to finish top 3 in Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year voting.
Let's go with the second one because
Justin Herbert.
Yeah,
and
because I disagree with the second take on that one combined take. It's not going to be him and Patrick Mahomes. It's going to be Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen.
Oh my God, Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. What are you doing, dude? We've had this conversation. Patrick Mahomes might finish as the best quarterback to ever play the game. So I don't want to hear it. People, come on now. What do we do? Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback. Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league.
No way. No way.
That's we've already had this argument.
No, it's not gonna happen, dude. When he's old and he's not as mobile, dude, the whole game's gonna be shaped around him. No.
Okay, well, if we're talking about mobility, most of Josh Allen's game is dependent on how much he can move, if not more than Patrick Mahomes. Besides the point. No, I think Justin Herbert has significantly gotten better and better and better. I think their roster this year has gotten so much better. I think their defense is better, which is going to allow, because the knock right now on Justin Herbert is he can't get to the playoffs. But that doesn't help that his defense is dog trash. But his defense got significantly better, and because his defense got better, it's really going to allow him to hopefully make a push into the playoffs and kind of show what he can do when the lights are on him, because he's been putting up awesome numbers in the regular season, but he hasn't been able to produce in the postseason because he hasn't been able to get to the postseason. So I think he's going to continue producing the awesome numbers he's been putting up, but now finally he's going to get a chance to do that in the playoffs, and we're going to really see that these 2 guys are going to be the best in the league.
It's all fair. It's semantics at this point, dude.
It is.
So yeah.
Real quick, just as far as the other 2 points, I know the Golden State Warriors won. Sorry. Desmond Ridder, I think we forget how much hype Arthur Smith got, he's going into his 2nd year now as the head coach for the Falcons. He got so much hype going in there because of his offensive mastermind ability. And now finally, Desmond Ridder has Drake London, who I was really high on. He has Kyle Pitts, who I was a big fan of. So I just think he's put in the best situation and he has the best talent. I think he is more talented than
Marcus?
Kenny Pickett.
Oh, I was going to say Marcus Mariota.
Well, that too. I think. Well, yeah, I think he's been glaring. Arthur Smith said that Desmond Ridder is the most or is by far and away better shocked than what the young players are. It was something about how for a young player he's doing really really good and shocked him or something.
Yeah.
And then Rachaad White, for those who don't know, he was a ASU running back. He's 6'1". He went to the 49ers. I think now the 49ers have a bell cow back. They've obviously been known for the running game. I think that I wouldn't be surprised at all if Rachaad White put up 1,000 yards this season.
So I'm just gonna dive right into mine.
Yep.
These ones are spicy, Ben. I hope you're ready. I'm happy that you're sitting down because you need to be. Bold take number 1. Jimmy Garoppolo stays in San Francisco, wins the starting job week 1, but loses it to Lance in week 5 after starting the season 1-3.
Yeah.
Tom Brady legitimately retires after the 2022 to 2023 NFL season, and Aaron Rodgers follows after the 2023 to 2024 season. Bold take number 3. Deontay Johnson will be a Bear at some point within the next year.
Wow. Okay. Well,
via trade, via signing, one way or another, they're going to have him on as a Bear.
Given the fact I agreed with the other two, we're going to go with the third one because I don't see him getting out of a Steelers uniform. So
they haven't discussed any kind of contract extension so far. I definitely see him being a potential trade target, more so than DK or Terry. This upcoming draft, it's going to be another one of those big hit wide receiver drafts. And, I definitely think with George Pickens being in, Pittsburgh, you're going to see some regression as far as Deontay Johnson goes. You're going to have Pickett to Pickens, and that's going to be a big connection. Whether people want to hear it or not, Deontay Johnson's going to be traded either this offseason, during the season, or he will be signed somewhere else. And that place will be Chicago because they can offer the most money to a wide receiver that young. I think it just makes sense that he's got the size. He's got number 1 wide receiver ability. And as far as him and Darnell Mooney, that's really good for a young core, especially if they can maintain that number 1 or that first round pick in 2023. So is it wishful thinking? Maybe just a little bit, but I don't see him getting extended anytime soon. I don't.
Okay. So I like the fit. The idea of him there, I'm all for it. I just don't think he leaves. I just don't. I don't think outside of Najee Harris, they don't really have any offensive weapons there. We'll see what happens with George Pickens, but outside of Najee Harris, they don't really have a lot of weapons there. So it's really hard for me to see them letting him go. I like the fit. If you guys can, go all for it. But I just don't think I don't. They're not letting him go. I'd be very, very, very surprised if they let him go. So the idea of it, I'm all for. I just can't actually see it happening.
We'll agree to disagree on that one due to time restraints because guess what? We are moving on to the final segment, Gridiron Goofs. And I love it just because although my body says otherwise, I'm a fat kid at heart. I love French fries, and we're going to be drafting French fries. Ben, I believe I had the first pick last time saying that Burger King was the worst fast food restaurant last week. However, I have to retract some picks that I had last week. I've had Wendy's twice within the past week.
Yeah.
And it's really good. Really good.
Oh.
And for me to pick them second round as worst fast food restaurant, bogus. So I take that back. Sorry, Wendy's. I still love you. Anyways, French fry draft. Ben, I think you're going first. What you got for me?
I think there's two clear options here. I think there's one real clear option, so we're picking that in hopes that you don't pick the other clear option here. And I think when I'm saying two clear options, I'm thinking you're thinking one thing, I'm thinking another thing. But we're going with the holy man himself. We're going Chick-fil-A's fries.
Ah, okay. So that takes one off my big board.
Oh yeah.
But I'm gonna go with McDonald's for
Yes,
round one, just because. But it has to be cooked to perfection. It has to be the right amount of crispiness, but not enough to where it's like it's still a little soft. And then it has to have the right amount of salt. If they don't have salt on them, then they're garbage. But anyways, that's my first round pick. Ben, what's number 2 for you?
See, that's what I was thinking. I knew when I said two, those were the two that popped into your mind. But
Speaking of the number 2, we're on episode number 22. There's only so much compatibility that you can get with your podcast partner after 22 episodes. We're on the same page.
Yep.
So.
Well, I was predicting that, but that was not McDonald's was not my number 2. Arby's curly fries, baby.
Oh,
Arby's
that's
curly
another
fries.
one off my big board. God, dude, you're killing me. Well, for my number 2 pick, then I'm going Five Guys. You have to give me the Cajun fries all day, baby. Oof. Oh yes.
And let me tell you guys, stay tuned for what my 5th pick is. It's something that nobody's probably ever had, and something that you guys probably won't have, but it's phenomenal. I had this on my worst fast food restaurants list, but we did say their fries were really, really good. Doing Checkers / Rallies.
Oh my God, dude, you're stealing everything off of my list, bro. Stop it. Oh my God.
Phenomenal, dude. Phenomenal.
I'm so upset. So upset.
I am just yes.
You're smacking me in the face like over and over and over again.
Bam, bam.
Okay. I'll say this. I love Wendy's fries.
Mm-hmm.
They're just the right amount of thickness. Just the right amount of seasoning. Give me Wendy's.
All right. So we're just doing base fries, or we're doing specialized fries here too?
Specialized as far as what?
Like a chili cheese fry or something.
Nah, just regular fries.
It's a shame for those who Wingstop. I'm sure a lot of people know what Wingstop is. They have these things called voodoo fries. They're real good.
Is that your pick? Oh wait, no, that was the specialized.
No, that was a specialized. Okay. Can I take Taco Bell's nacho fries? Is that an option?
You can, but I'm gonna call you nasty.
Have you ever had Taco Bell nacho fries?
They're so bad. They're garbage, bro.
Bro, you're.
Okay.
Taco
anyway,
Bell nacho fries.
If you've ever been to Red Robin, you got to put some burger seasoning on it. Red Robin, bottomless fries. My list sucks because you took literally everything off of my board, but give me Red Robin.
Okay, well, I'm willing to bet this last one I'm about to put on here. It's on nobody's list. This is the best fry that I've ever had. The only reason I didn't take it before is because I knew you were going to take this. If you guys ever get the chance to go to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, no, God no. If you guys ever get the chance, no. Yeah, if you guys ever get the chance to go to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, you guys have to swing by the Harley Davidson Museum. It's crazy. That's where Harley Davidson was made. But inside the Harley Davidson Museum, they have a cafe. I ordered a burger there one time, came with fries. I quite literally think that they season those fries with crack.
Probably.
The best fries that I've ever had. I would go there and just order. I want to drive to Milwaukee right now just to order a basket of their fries. That's how good these fries are. And I would say probably nobody that's listening to this podcast besides my stepdad. If he listens, I don't even know if he listens. Let's be honest here. has had those fries, but if you guys are ever in Milwaukee, you have to swing by to get these fries. They're like the perfect amount of crispness, all of them, perfect amount of crispiness to them. And then their season is actually in the batter, so it doesn't like crumble off. So you eat it, and it's just phenomenal. It's just the mashiness of the potato in the fry, phenomenal. And it's like a thick fry too. It's just my favorite fry I've ever had. I'm sorry that I went on that long about a fry, but the Harley Davidson Museum fries are just that sounds crazy coming out of my mouth, but they're a must try.
For my last pick, I'm going with Popeye's fries.
Yeah.
They're pretty solid. That's all I gotta say. They're solid. But like you took all of mine, so whatever. Like my literal big board was McDonald's, Five Guys, Chick-fil-A, Arby's, Rallies. And then I was like Last Resort, Wendy's, Red Robin, and Popeyes. So I was just like, dude, this is ridiculous. So, anyways, guys, if you've spent 22 episodes with somebody, you really get to know them. And I swear we're on the same wavelength, so it's fine. But anyways, if you made it this far, we want to say thank you for listening all the way through. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode of the Pigskin Project. We have a lot scheduled for next week's show, including our off-season previews and much, much more. So make sure you're subscribed and following us on all platforms. We'd like to give a big thank you to Anchor.fm, Uppercuts Grooming, and Overtime Sports Network right up here for helping promote our podcast. Please leave a review down below as it helps us more than you know. And that's it for this week. So thanks again for tuning in to the Pigskin Project.